Welcome to the GWA podcast on Grow With Angie. If you've never been here before, I'm Angie. Welcome. I'm glad you guys could join me tonight. I don't have a lot of really big set things that I'm going to do tonight, but I did want to come to you at the end of the year and into the holidays and kind of give you a heads up of what my thoughts and my plans are for the upcoming year 2022. Can you believe we made it? We made it another year. I can't believe it. This year has been just insane and crazy for me. Not only the opportunity to work from home, my full time job is at home. So I'm very, very blessed that I can do that. And I just kind of want to go back over the last year, give you a little synopsis, I guess, of how we got here. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do and become a part of the Grow With Angie community. I love having you guys. If you're here, I can see some faces popping up in the corner. Please go ahead and leave me comments and I will shout out back to you, because this episode is really all about you guys. It's about thanking you. It's about this journey and how we got here. I'm going to start with last year. We don't want to go back and think about where we all were this time last year. But again, being forced to work from home. And at that time, I didn't know if I was going to be able to go back, if I was going to still have a job, all those things that we were thinking about. And I really wanted something to brighten my house, brighten my mood. I have seasonal depression, which I don't like using that word. I don't like putting that stigma on it. It just means I think in the wintertime, the weather absolutely sucks. If you guys agree with me, go ahead and give me a comment below. I love the sun. I love the warm weather. I don't always like wearing big fuzzies. And love your channel. I've learned a lot. Thank you. Melanie, thank you very much. That's what I want to see tonight. I want to see you guys interacting with me. And let's have a good time. So I ended up really wanting to brighten the house, like I said, and kind of give myself a boost because it was just a bad year. And I had really thought about a tower garden, and I had wanted one for years. And I just went down this rabbit hole of like looking for different things and what could I do and what could I possibly do to brighten my spirits and my mood in the house. And I stumbled upon the eye harvest. Now, I don't know if you guys have all heard. I have a lot of different social medias and I kind of put little stories out there. And hi, I'm so glad you're here. Just a quick hello before dinner. That's awesome. You are such a great fan and a great family of GWA. I love it. You comment on everything. So I'm very, very happy that you're here. And the more I kind of dove into this eye harvest, I thought, this is really, really cool. I'm measuring it out and I'm thinking, okay, it's only 2.5 feet wide by, no, 2.5 feet in depth by 4 wide. Good thing I don't build stuff. And I measured my curio cabinet. I thought it was the same size as my curio cabinet. So I ended up diving in and bought one. And I had no idea. I had no idea. A year later, here I would be. This is good evening, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Look, I even decorated for you guys. Are y'all happy? And shout out my mom. She's a quilter and she's an awesome author, which I'm going to give personal shout outs to a whole bunch of people. I have them, in my mind of who I want to give thank yous to. And I'll give you a little tip on that in a minute. And Karen, hi from New Jersey. Well, that's awesome. You don't have really great weather right now either, do you? It's so bad. Anyway, so I ended up getting my first eye harvest, Utah. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so awesome. My perfect life. It's funny when I recognize certain little profile pictures from you guys popping up on different social medias, or I'm following you and you're following me, and that's it just warms my heart. And so I end up getting this eye harvest and I got on the Facebook and no, it's cold here. Yeah. Happy Hanukkah. Yes, it is. It's It's cold everywhere. No, it's not. If you live in California, it's fantastic, right? Or fantastic. Um, so I ended up setting up the iHarvest. I get involved into the Facebook group, which if you guys are on the Facebook group for the iHarvest, what an amazing. That's one of my thank yous, is an amazing group of people. I've learned so much. And I came in as one of those really annoying people that I've gardened for a very long time. My mom taught me how to garden. I grew up gardening, started with a marigold, and there's my story. And so I'm doing it inside the house and I'm like, I don't know what pH is. I don't know what ppms are. I don't know how to read ECs. What am I doing? So I was one of those really annoying people on that Facebook group that was constantly asking questions. And as it started to kind of click, and I thought, okay, this is just like outside gardening, but it's inside. And there's a couple things that I had to do different. Then I just as naturally wanted to give back and wanted to answer questions back. And I really was doing that a lot. And iHarvest, the co-founder of iHarvest, his name is David. Another big thank you. He is just one of the most wonderful people. Best customer service. Never ever purchased a product from a company that had customer service like this. And he ended up reaching out to me and said, you're helping all these people, and I can give you this coupon code. That's a friend and family coupon code, and it's a referral code. And I thought, oh yeah, I don't know if I really want to do that. So then I ended up doing it. Why not? What's it going to hurt? So I did it, and blasted all over the Facebook page my coupon code, and it was like, no, that's like taboo. Don't do that. Just make the relationships, because there's a lot of people that have these coupon codes. And so then at one point, David came to me and said, maybe you should do a YouTube video. And that way people can see how you're using it and you can answer a lot of questions that way. Instead of just being this nicely said, annoying person on the Facebook group. So I really thought about it and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. And if you guys want a good laugh, if you've got some time off between Christmas and New Year, go back to my very first video, which happy 1 year YouTube birthday to me and this channel. I just got notification yesterday or the day before, might have been the day before, that my YouTube channel is 1 year old. And you go back to that video and oh my gosh, you guys, I hear YouTubers and content creators say this all the time about how horrible their first videos are and they want to take them down. And I secretly did for about a month. And I made my second video and then I went back and put it back up. But it's bad. My lighting is horrible. I'm so far away from the camera. I don't know what I'm doing. I sound like a robot trying to do a sales pitch. And it's just, there's no, it's just bad. It's so bad. And then iHarvest came to me again and said, I got like 1 or 2 referral coupon code things used, and they ended up coming back to me a little bit later and said, once you get some plants in it and you start doing some videos with some plants in it, it's going to be much better, because it looked really stupid in that first video. So my second video is actually now to this date, 1 year later, I think it's ranking, I want to say my third video. I'd have to look up on my phone while we were talking and tell you for sure, because I can look at my analytics. Anyway, so that video is, I want to say, probably up in there in my top 2 or 3, sort by most viewed. This is really funny. I'm sorry, I'm looking down. Okay, so my second video, which was my most horrible, well, not the most, it was the second most horrible video, right? So that one is at 3.4 thousand views, and it is sitting at my second highest watched video right now. And that one started kind of picking up the steam with the iHarvest, and it just started rolling, where I was like, wow, this is really something I love. And people are asking me questions. And as I was doing the YouTube videos, 1 or 2 videos, I was getting all these questions on the videos, on all my social media. So I'm on Instagram, I'm on MeWe, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. I have a LinkedIn, but I never use it. And I'm here and I get messages all the time. And so I was just naturally wanting to answer those questions. And I thought, well, what would make it even better and even bigger to show you guys how this all works than to have 2? And so, full transparency, I do make a small commission back, but if you guys use my coupon code, you save $50. This is not a sales pitch. That's not why I'm here tonight. And so I took the money that I was earning and a little out of my pocket, and I went back and I bought a second one. So I bought both of mine. So I bought the second one, and then it was just like this world opened up of holy cow. Now my whole dining room is these 2 big, huge hydroponic systems. And over time, I started to do microgreens, and I do a deep water culture tub, and I do arrow garden. Oh, I want to get these comments up because tonight is about you guys. And I live in Oregon, really raining now. How much trouble I've had with the outside garden dealing with aphids. I also looked at lettuce grow. Can you talk about the difference? I will. Yes, I will for sure. Let me finish my thought, or I'm never gonna come back around to it. And then Melody, I will definitely thank you for that question. So I ended up doing all these other types of indoor gardening. And I thought, there's so much more to me, right, than just this eye harvest. And so I wanted to introduce the chickens that I have been doing for a really long time. And I wanted to talk about just, other things, other little homesteading. So really kind of turned it into a homesteading channel. And I do have other videos on how you can make your own cornmeal and different other little fun things, how to dry your herbs when you've grown them. And then all of a sudden I turned around and I started doing a couple of product reviews. And it was really based off of what you guys were asking me to look at and asking me to review. And this is the funny one that I want to share. And then I'm going to get to Melanie. Is I did a video on that catchy bug fly trap. And there was a lot of people that were buying them, posting about them, different experiences. And I thought, well, I want my Grow to Angie community to know what this bug trap thing is. This video was posted 5 months ago and it is at 4.6 thousand views. It is my number 1 top rated video on this channel. And I'm pretty sure it had to do with the product itself and not necessarily about me or people liking me. And so I did this video and it just kind of blew up. And I thought, well, gee, I could do a whole bunch more stuff. I could share a ton more with you guys. And so I started, buying some other things. Now, any money that comes into my channel now between Amazon affiliates or what I'm, my commissions that I'm making on iHarvest, different things that I'm doing on the side. There's a lot going on in the back channel that I'm not going to share with yet. And all of that I'm putting back to the channel. So I'm buying different things to then review and share with you guys. And so every single time you make a comment or you ask a question or whatever, it just motivates me to keep going. And I cannot believe it has been a year. I cannot believe it's been a year. I'm just, thank you. Thank you so much. And, in the analytics of YouTube, the percentage of YouTubers that hit 1,000 subscribers is very small. A lot of people, the majority of people who start channels fall off before they get to that 1,000. You want to hit 1,000 in a first year to get paid for the commercials. I don't really care. I could never do YouTube's going to throw a commercial up. If you see a commercial on my channel, I'm not getting paid for it. And that's just YouTube doing its thing. But if that ever happens, then, we call it the tip jar. It's not very much. Hello from British Columbia, Canada. Yes. Hello. Pasquini. Oh, that's funny. I almost said Pasquino because I know some Pasquinos. So that's really close. But welcome from Canada. That is awesome. So if I do at this point, if there is any money being made, it is buying equipment in headphones and a brand new camera and a brand new computer and all these things. And it's just to continue doing this because I absolutely, absolutely love it. So I'm going to pop back to Melanie. And so I've had with my outside garden dealing with aphids. So if anybody's watched my channel, they know that I went through a really, really bad period of aphids, the white flies, the little black flies. I don't really mind the white flies and the little black flies. they don't seem to eat the plants as much as the aphids did. And, after months and months, and I tried everything, I have a video on everything that I tried. And I think it's funny when I see comments in Facebook groups where they're like, oh, put some neem oil and some soap on there. Yep, did it. Didn't work. And so you all know my drama about that. And I've wiped everything out. I let them sit for a couple of weeks and I started growing them again. And they're so beautiful. I did put up some pictures on my Instagram, and I will make sure that I get some new ones up for you soon. And after the first of the year, I'll start filming some videos again. So the lettuce grow. I did a little bit. I wish I still had my notes, and I probably do. I have a live that I did a while ago where I was comparing different ones, and I did DIYs or different units. I personally have not used Lettuce Grow. So as far as how it works, like how it grows, I'm sure it's very, very similar. But this is the things that I had learned from it. They are made as in Tower Garden. Actually, their main premise is to be outside. And then if you want to use them inside, you can add the grow lights. One of the things with Lettuce Grow in particular is that the lights are an additional cost and they are pricey. I don't know why. And I've told this story before in Lettuce Grow. If you are out there listening to me, please let me know. There were so many ads on Facebook and I kept asking questions. And I said, like, why are your lights so expensive? Like, why, every layer is like this extra price and this and this and this. And I was asking questions, and literally, which they can do, it's their company. They can do whatever they want. They blocked me from making comments. So I can no longer ask questions or make comments on any of their ads, which I thought was very funny. But their systems can be very, very pricey. And this is saying, I was trying to say that I was going to buy an iris, but I decided not to because of the bug problems. Okay, I will get to that. With the Lettuce Grow, I want everybody to be aware that you cannot move the lights. The lights are like a ring, and you're going to pop your ring onto your unit and you can't move them out. So if your plants get really big, they're going to get really close to that light and they could get like burnout. Basically, you're going to burn out your plants. So that's one thing I liked about the iHarvest was the lights are on poles and you can drag them in and out and you can move them, and you can actually add extender cable to them if you need more space. So I really like that because I push them right up against it when they're baby seedlings, and I can move them out. I can expand them. I can twist and turn them if I want to, kind of give them like a cloudy day. You can kind of move them off to the side and then put them back. So you can manipulate the lights a lot more. The iHarvest with the bug problem, those are two totally different things. It is not the unit itself. It is hydroponic. My furnace just shut off and I did not realize the humming that I was getting from my furnace. So sorry, that just was like, it got really quiet. The aphid problem is all hydroponics. And I have a hydroponics store that I actually go to quite often in my local town. And it is predominantly for marijuana growers. And I was a little like, do I go in here? Because I don't do this. But really, I mean, these people are absolute geniuses when it comes to hydroponics, and they all battle aphids. I mean, it can be totally controlled. Like right now, I'm good because I got them out. Once you get them in, that's a problem. So one of the things is for me personally in October, November, usually October, I have a ton of deck plants. I mean, I turn my entire deck into a garden of itself in pots and deck plants and, all kinds of stuff. I have a full-size hibiscus tree that is in this pot that we ended up having to put on wheels and wheel it in. And the first year when I got my first unit in October, I brought all my plants in and I put them all around the grow lights, and it looks beautiful. Go back to my original videos. It's, it looks really great, but I brought bugs in with those plants. The other problem is I live in the middle of the woods, and I think when I'm out gardening, which I'm really gonna have to start working on this next year and see if it helps, is actually have like certain garden clothes. And when I come in, maybe come in through the basement slider and just strip right off right into the wash and don't bring the clothes upstairs. I don't know if they sneak in through the slider because they're so tiny and they can get through the screen and they're just attracted to the lights. So I think even at night, if my lights are on, like right now it gets dark early. Obviously it's winter, so they're dead outside. But when it starts getting a little bit darker and you've got your porch lights, the moths, they're doing their whole thing. If they're coming in and they're trying to creep through, they could be getting there. So it does happen. But in Melanie, I don't want you to think that it's just because of the eye harvest. If you really got into groups of Tower Garden, even the Aero Garden, I'm in Aero Garden, Kratky, hydroponic groups. The Aero Garden people, they deal with it as well. I've had my eye harvest for 2 years. I have only a bug spider mite problem, which that's probably not a really bad it's not a bad one. Spider mites, you can really tell because of like the little cobwebs, and you can actually take things like neem oil or soaps or whatever and get a Q-tip and like dip it into whatever solution and just kind of go around and like grab all your webs and like kind of wipe the leaves off. Those aphids are just, they're insane. But yeah, for 2 years, you're doing pretty dang stinking good for that. And, I'm really, really happy right now that my deep water culture is full of cilantro and just to be bug free, and especially going into the holidays, which I do want to talk about that a little bit in Christmas and in my acknowledgments to certain people. Excuse me. Um is, when you have family come over for the holidays, you're like, I want everything to look good. I want these big green leafy everything just being, perfect. And oh, I just got a notification on my phone that oh, see, and there's my eye harvest right there, that I'm live right now. So they're a little late. uh but going into Christmas and being a homesteader, I think there could be some added pressure. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. So I want to talk just a quick second about this. And I'm preaching to myself. I want you to know that first. I'm preaching to myself. I'm going to give myself a little sermon and then you can take from it. I have this thing where when people come to my house, and I don't know if it's because of my homesteading, my wanting to do all of these things, and I love being home and growing things. And when people come to my house, I want them to be comfortable. And I want them to be so comfortable that, they can get up and go get a glass out of the kitchen cupboard, or, I go above and beyond. I feel like I do. And there's this all of a sudden when you get into the holidays of, I don't cook. I've said this before. If you guys have seen my other channels, I don't cook. My husband is the cook. But at the holidays, I do have certain things that I love to do. There's a chicken wing recipe that's in our family. And my grandfather, which you guys cannot really see this picture probably back here, but this is my grandpa and my grandma, my mom, my dad's parents. And we did not call grandpa, we called him Bumpy. And there is a pickled a bologna recipe that I have, since we lost my beloved grandparents. I have kept the pickled bologna recipe going. And every year it's this, I got to go out and buy all these rings of bologna. I got to, get all these jalapeno peppers, all the onions, and make it all and cut it all and serve it all. And then you've got, my father-in-law, who I adores my pickled bologna. So it's like, okay, set some aside for him. My dad, of course, that's his father. So I've got to set some aside for him. And now I have a coworker who, I'm sure he's going to watch this if he's not watching right now. He loves Spam, and this is a joke. So now for the last 2 years, I've been pickling him some Spam. And it actually tastes like bologna when, So there's these things that like I like to do to make family comfortable. And it becomes so almost encompassing and so like heavy. And I don't know why I let that happen. That I'm literally making sure every chair has a blanket and a pillow because if we watch movie night and I want everybody to have a blankie and be warm and do I have the cups and the markers so everybody can mark their names and just all these little things, and even down to in the bathroom, I'm obsessed with having enough toilet paper. Like, I the feeling of going to someone else's house and you're like, "Oh, there's not enough toilet paper." So I have these big, huge baskets full of toilet paper in all the bathrooms, which is like that a lot, but all these little things that I try to do. I even decorate the holidays in the bathrooms, because, there's one that's right off of our mud room, and it's basically our mud room bathroom, and everybody uses that one. Instead of going down the hallway to the big, beautiful guest room bathroom, they're in this mud room. So I've started over the years decorating these bathrooms to make sure everybody was comfortable. And I think then during the holidays, when someone says, "Oh, do you have salt and pepper? Do you have this?" And you kinda get a little tense or you get a little snippy maybe, and I apologize for that because in my mind, I'm mad at myself. Why didn't I remember to put this out? Why didn't I make enough cookies? Why didn't I is the bologna not strong enough this year? These different things, and I think this time of year and the week and a half, 2 weeks that, I'm gonna be off and I'm gonna chill out until after January is a time to sit back and not only reflect, spend time with family, but just like way back in the day when they didn't have power and, they're sitting around their oil lamps, you have harvested. You have grown, you have done all of your work for the summer, and we cut wood, we have a wood stove. All of these things, we've done it. And now is this time of rest, unless you have hydroponics. Then you're gonna keep growing like me, right? You kinda put the pressure on yourself to keep things going, but now is this time of rest, and so as part of my grow community, I want you guys all to rest. I want you to know that that plant that, my lettuces, my kale, my unit, all of those units, all of the hydroponics, they are meant for you to be able to take a break. A lot of them have the timers on them. They have all these things where you could go, you fill it is with as much water in the reservoir tank as you possibly can, and you leave for a couple days. And so if you're not leaving for a couple days and you're just home and you're having the company, let them be. It's not gonna be a big deal if the pH goes up a little bit or your EC goes down a little bit or your ppms, however you're measuring it. Take a break. And, I'm really, like I said, I'm preaching to myself because I do this every year. I just want it to be perfect. And I know it's not. It's like the perfect wedding. That's never going to be the perfect wedding, right? I know it's not going to be perfect, but I have to sit back and be a guest. I have to be a guest in my own house. I have to sit back and just let things be. And then with that, I want to go into some thank yous for my end of the year and letting things be and thanking is I'm going to start with my husband's side of the family is my mother-in-law. She has the heart of a giver and the heart of a blesser and the heart of a servant. And I've never seen something like that before in my life. And she goes all the time when she's here. And she wants to clean and she wants to do. And I literally have to just put my hands up and say, do the dishes. It's okay. And it's kind of a joke. And if she's watching, it's a joke that after she leaves and the family leaves and my husband and I are doing something and we're in the kitchen and I go and I open a drawer and I just pick up this knife and think, what in the world is this doing in this drawer? It should not be here. and we laugh. And my husband says, I would rather find something funny in a different cabinet than, tell my mother no. So, to my mother-in-law, I love you dearly, and the support that you have given me this last year for my channel, it's amazing. You're amazing. And to my father-in-law, our relationship has grown and has built into something totally different than what it had started, and that is a story for us. But I adore him, and he is my father, and, just respect the man that, he is, and the father that he is, and we love having you guys come. So even though I get stressed because they come quite often and they stay because they live a little bit away from us, couple hours, we love having you. So, you're welcome. And then I'll jump over to my parents. And, my mom and dad, I know they're here. They're always here. And my mom gives me the best loving criticism, which I like. Like, I'll get after I post a video, I'll send her the first link, text it to her, and she'll come back in the sweetest way. This was really, really good, but you could have said this or you could have done that. And I've really grown from it, and it's great. And it's just keeping me on my toes to think about what else I can do. And a shout out for my mom in a different manner. Not only is she, oops, see, these cameras are backwards. Not only is she a fantastic quilter, and I've learned to sew, and I sew as well. I have a full sewing room that maybe I'll show you someday. Um, she is also a number one best selling author on Amazon. And her author name is Jane O'Brien. And she'll kill me. Is it 25, 27, Mom? How many books she has out. And she has a series now that she just released, book number 9, and it's called a Slip in Time series. You can find it under Jane O'Brien on Amazon. And I'm very, very proud of her. This is something that she has always wanted to do with her life. And as a grown, very adult mother, she is doing what she loves. And I couldn't be more proud. You're writing books and I'm recording myself. And I want to also thank you to my husband. And I know you guys do not, oh, see, yeah, 23 books. I was close, right? So my mom has 23 books. So look for Jane O'Brien on Amazon. And if I can remember after this, I'll go back into the descriptions and I'll throw a couple Amazon links in there for you guys. So my husband is not on any of my videos. I think there's one where it is the winter chicken coop, and I did the fast high speed and the cameras across the yard, and he is just not a camera loving guy. Very private in that way, but because he is the cook, there are a couple of little YouTube shorts that we did, and one of them is making the sun pickles, and those are all his hands. I have now recorded him doing laundry soap, so that video is in my mind for this next year, is how to make your own laundry soap. Super duper cheap. Like, I'm talking a 5-gallon bucket for, I don't know, $1 or less. It's really, really crazy. But he makes our soap. So I have recorded him doing that. So you will see his hands popping up, there and here and there. But he is not on the videos. His way of helping me and assisting me right now is being somewhere in the house and being very quiet. And as I say, I'm going to go live, and he says, have a good show. He will give me advice. He will say, hey, maybe you can do a video on this. Hey, when we were doing the sun pickles, he's like, maybe you should record this. So he is definitely behind the scenes. So Angie's husband he is alive. He is there. I really do have one. And he is very, very supportive. He built my chicken coop. Hey, you guys, like, I am trying to, he did actually just find his plans, his floor plans and everything for that. It was an accident. He was digging through a drawer, went through one of our filing cabinets, and he found it. And I have wanted him to kind of redraw that and like actually make some kind of a blueprint. And then we could get that out to you guys at some time, because it's, 8, 9 years now, and I've never had one predator break into my coop. So I would love him to do that. So my beloved husband, Angie's husband, who I adore, and I don't want to get choked up, but for those of you who know me on a personal level, there is another story of mine that I will share at some point. Um, I'll just give you a quick little thing that I am a breast cancer survivor. And, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my husband. And he's just amazing. And, we're not perfect. We are human beings who are married and not perfect. But he is, oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Yes, please. I love the support. But yeah, he is just an amazing man. So even though you guys do not see him in photographs and you don't see him in, front of the camera, and he might not even be behind the camera, I might be doing from point A to point Z by myself. He is there giving support, and he is there encouraging and allowing me to be me. And I think that is just a really, really awesome thing. And I want to thank you guys. Look at this. Yeah, we've had some great conversations. From my Grow With Angie group on Facebook. And I want to say this, I love everyone. And so I'm one of those people, I'll just, accept everybody. But my name, my personal name on Facebook is also Grow With Angie, but my last name is With Angie. I'm kind of psyching out Facebook. So my first name is Grow, my last name is With Angie. And then I have a Facebook group called Grow With Angie. And I see a lot of people that will friend request me on like my normal page, and then they'll go to the group. So either is fine. I don't really share, intimate, detailed family stuff on my Facebook. So, as long as I can go to my Facebook and I can see that you're a real person, you have posted some stuff, you've got some pictures, and, it's not like 10 pictures from yesterday and you're friend requesting me. So I will accept friend requests that way. So from the Grow With Angie group to the Indoor Garden Works, IG Works, the actual I Harvest group on Facebook, to those, to my Instagram, which is slowly kind of going. Saw you on MeWe. Yeah, that's MeWe is another really funny one. I gave up some social media during the elections, and this was before I started YouTube. I just couldn't do it. And I kind of dumped it all. And I went to MeWe because you can be whoever you want to be, and you can change your name as much as you want. And so I was on there, and I was on there with friends, and I ended up being a part of a really, really, really big group here in Michigan. And then I ended up starting a MeWe page of Grow With Angie when the YouTube channel started, and a lot of people followed me over, and MeWe has been awesome. I will say that I apologize to MeWe people that I do not get back in. There's a chat room in MeWe, which I love, and I haven't been in that as much. And it's just an iPhone. There's an iPhone error issue. Ever since iPhone did the newest update, not the 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, like the 15 iOS, the phone took away my chat room, and I can only chat on my iPad because I have not updated it. So I might have to uninstall and reinstall. And so me just being lazy. So maybe I'll do that during the holidays. So I'm not, I post to MeWe, but I'm not in the chat room as much as I would like to. But yeah, so Facebook and MeWe and Instagram and Clubhouse. If there are any Clubhouse people here, I know. And that's why I dumped it. And when I came back as Grow With Angie or Angie Christine. I use my middle name too. So for Clubhouse, this is another. I have to say thank you for Clubhouse. For Clubhouse in several different ways. Clubhouse, I have met a lot of gardeners and that type of world. But Clubhouse to me, I have met so many other YouTube content creators. We don't like to call ourselves social influencers. Content creators, we're creating content. And I am in a whole bunch of different Clubhouse groups. And I did kind of step back from that because I was spending way too much time in Clubhouse like every day. But the Clubhouse family, um, I mean, I could ramble them off and I don't I don't wanna forget somebody. I mean, my list is long on Clubhouse. You know who you are if you are my Clubhouse family. I wanna thank you for your encouragement, and every single time I would get on and say, "I got 30 more subscribers," and everybody goes crazy and gets all excited, and to the point of where, it was my channel was growing really, really fast in the beginning, and I was doing all these things with just iHarvest itself and just my relationship with the company that the Clubhouse, other YouTube, I mean, we're talking some pretty big channels that were saying, "We want you to come guest speak, and we want you to talk to other people doing YouTube brand new," and saying, "How did you do this so quick?" And I didn't think I did. The reality was, I guess I did. And so I just teaching and helping other YouTubers, but I had to kind of step back a little bit because I thought I am still new and I need to now take everything that I've told everyone else and implement it in my same. So it's my same personality of I want to share what I've learned with the hydroponics and I want to share that with YouTube. So I haven't, I'm kind of still on Clubhouse, not as insanely active as I was before, but I believe if you guys are in Clubhouse, let me pull that up too because I'm not sure exactly how my name is on there. So I'm Angie Christine on Clubhouse, and it's the same profile picture that I'm using here. And if you look at the and it says at Grow With Angie is my thing on Clubhouse. So if you're on Clubhouse, that is something else I want to do this next year is actually start. I do have my own club on there and I have not really utilized it. So I'm hoping I can do that. And for those of you who don't know what Clubhouse is, it is just like this. Whoa, me and my hands. I talk with my hands. It's just like this, but instead of leaving comments, you guys can actually, they call it coming up on stage, and you actually get an open microphone. And it's like a phone conversation, but with, 20, 30, 40, 50 people in the room. And so you can have these big open conversations and you can ask me questions and we can just chat and get to know each other. So all of the social media groups, I know it sounds so cliche to thank you and to appreciate the support that I have gotten this last year from you. It's not cliche at all. I have met some people I never ever would have met, other YouTube content creators from all over the world and different languages and different barriers and different, everything that we're doing, different niches, different styles. But the support has been amazing. And, you guys being part of the Grow with Angie community and being here. I mean, not just sitting on live for 43 minutes and 35 seconds. But, when I post a video and you're watching them and you're commenting on them, and I know that a really big part of my community is the indoor gardening. So I do understand that when I post something chicken related, it might not get quite, the views as the other. And that's okay because it's giving me some time to figure out where I need to be and where I need to fall. And if you guys ever want to reach out and say, can you do a video on this? Or I saw this product. I mean, really, let's say the bean sprouting machine, the big green bean machine. I do have to do another video on that because that was kind of a fail, but it was a little bit on my part. And I've had some people tell me what I can do to fix that. But that, I believe it was the other bean sprout machine or the other bean sprout jar, and it might have been the tub. those were things that you guys had kind of suggested to me and said, "Hey, do this. I got like messages. Can you try and do this? This is your channel. You do you." It is my channel, but I'm here for you. It's called Grow With. Grow with me. Don't just watch me. But no, I understand what you're saying. It is my channel. I do me, and I'm doing me more and more. I'm trying to be me more and more. And I just hope that you guys like it enough that you stick around. So this next year, as I get more people coming to me and saying, "Hey, can you test this product?" I've actually had a couple of companies come to me. One is kind of sitting in the background. They are another hydroponic company and they are doing a Kickstarter. And so I'm kind of like letting that ride for a little bit right now. I don't really want to promote something that's not 100% on the market yet. So we kind of have an understanding that once it gets going and it's actually out there and it's for sale, then I may test it. And there are some other kind of things that I'm looking at. And my husband and I are also talking about kind of doing some product type stuff. So maybe in the next year, with his work, he has a lot of laser equipment and that type of stuff. And so we have talked about, when I have a problem with one of the hydroponics or with the gardening, and I'm like, and I actually have this little tool in my mind for chickens. And so it's these things that like I wish I had, and they may be out there, but they won't be as cute as if I make them. So that's something that in the next year, we would like to maybe go into that direction and just continue to bring you guys videos. And they say you don't know what your channel is going to mold and look like and be when you are under 100 videos. And I think I have 75. So I have a little bit to go there. I like the chickens too much hassle here with permits. That really sucks. And I know you do the quail, and that's very, very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of thought about it. I've thought about different, guinea fowl and that type of stuff. And yeah, that's a really good thing for, where I'm at. Because it is pretty cold and it was really, really frosty. And I went out there today and they were all big and puffy. But sadly, the girls that are pushing, they will be 4 or 5 years this coming summer. There's 8 of them. I have one that lays almost every day, and I have one that lays maybe once a week. And the rest of them are freeloaders right now. So we're going to have to make that really hard decision, which we have done before, because when they get to a point where they're just freeloading and they are actually picking and pecking and harassing the younger ones that are actually giving us eggs, yeah, we have to have a little conversation with them and see if they want to live or not. But it's part of homesteading and it's part of life. So yeah, so I think I was just gonna get on here and ramble, and I think I've done pretty good. It's 48 minutes of me rambling. So, in the holiday, less light. Oh, we push with light. We call it pushing with light. We push with light. So we have really, really big, like almost studio type lighting, garage lighting out there, and they're all on timers. And so their lights kick on at 6:30 in the morning and they go off at 8:30, about 8:30 at night. And yeah, so the young ones they're going crazy laying every single day. Cayenne peppers, my cayenne powder, and this one is empty and it's going to grow red onions. Let me know about the red onions. I did in my last one, I did green onions, and they were just regular green onions. They're not like chives. I mean, they're green onions. And there's a picture on my Instagram too, I believe, with that. These things went all the way down the side of the unit, and I only had 2, and I was cutting off them all the time. So this new grow that I have, the whole one side of my right unit, all the way down, what is it, 5 rows? They're all green onion. So I'm really excited about that. I don't think people do enough of those. And yeah, so let me know. The peppers are great. I had a really good time with the jalapeno peppers until my aphids were beating me in the challenge of the peppers, but it was fun while it lasted. But we got a lot of jalapeno peppers, we got a lot of green peppers. I had carnival peppers, so I had a couple that went red. I didn't get any purple ones. And yeah, so it's been good. And I'm actually doing microgreens in my arrow garden. Call me crazy, but I put a whole bunch of microgreen seeds in the arrow garden, and I'm gonna let the I mean, the plants, right? If it says kale, it's kale. So I did a whole bunch of I think it's called like a hot Mexican spicy microgreen. I have no idea what's gonna grow, but why not? And then I can tell you guys how it worked. So I'm not gonna ramble too much longer. We are closing in on an hour, and that's what I wanted to do tonight. And then I'm going to be cayennes outside. See, you guys keep commenting. I made sauce out of cayennes outside, hot but tasty. Yeah, we we like hot. When I make my pickled bologna, there is a jalapeno in every single jar, and we do have family contests sometimes about eating the jalapeno pepper that has been pickled, and I can hang with the big boys. Let's just say that I can eat me some hot food. But thank you so much for being here, from the very first subscriber to gosh, I know I'm close to 700. I was this morning close. I don't know where I'm at right now. Let me look. 693. So from my first subscriber to my 693rd to my 94th and my 95th and my 96th to those that are coming, thank you. Because if you guys weren't here, if you weren't interacting with me, if you weren't giving me questions, and a lot of the questions don't come on YouTube. If you guys want to add more questions to YouTube, that does help other people who are watching the channel see those questions and see that conversation that we're having. But I do get a lot of direct messages. And I think when I start my podcast again after the first of the year, I'm really going to try and do some Q&A. So if you're either sending me questions in a direct message or just on a Facebook or a MeWe or an Instagram, I will ask your permission to use your questions and, just maybe use your first name. Karen, thank you. I know, one of the funny ones of my videos is the setup and how to set up the iHarvest. And I made that video for myself because when I was trying to figure out how to set it up, there was one other video and it was okay. And I thought I want to nail this. I want an instructional video, and I get more thank yous on that video on setting things up. So I appreciate it. And you rock too, Karen. You really do. You guys are awesome. So thank you very much. And I'm going to say God bless because this girl's a Christian. So whatever you believe, I hope that your spirits are high during the holidays. And I'm going to thank my God and my Jesus for another year. And I'm going to thank my family when I see them for all of their support. And that video helped a lot. Yeah. So if anybody buys our harvest, go back and watch the video on how to set it up. Because you can just throw the instructions away and I'm your instructions. But thank you for being here. I know I've said thank you a lot, but this is the year of thanks. It is the time of thanks. And when I shut this off and bid you adieu, amen, Melanie. I know. I'm going to go finish The Chosen this weekend. I got to get that done. I'm so close. I'm so close. But you guys are amazing, and I'm here for you. I mean, I love it. It is my channel. It's got my name on it, but I'm here for you because you guys have made me smile this last year when, every year is rough. And when you work from home and you don't really have coworkers other than email, you are my coworkers. So in that funny way, you are my family out there. So thank you very much. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. God bless. Happy New Year. And I'm going to see you guys in 2022. God bless.